to you. Now, my next guest is an NHS doctor and mother of two who's expecting her third child with her hubby, Peter Andre. And as well as that, Dr. Emily MacDonagh has just released her new book. It's called Healthy Mind, Happy You, and it's all about children's mental health. She joins me now at the start of Children's Mental Health Week, so it all kind of makes sense. It's lovely to see you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Really good to see you. Now, this whole idea, this has been something you've wanted to do for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. So I work in the mental health sector in the NHS, and so I think it's something I feel really passionate about, and I think just getting kids talking about their mental health, thinking about their emotions and when things get difficult and kind of learning ways to deal with that, for me, it's just about kind of setting them up, I guess, for adulthood and being open and talking about mental health.
So is this for kids or for parents or for both?
A bit of both.
Right.
So it's sort of, I wrote it for children, so sort of age 8 and up. But really, I think, you know, if parents want to read it alongside them, that would be really great. Sure. It's just talking about their emotions and kind of ways to cope when things get difficult. So, yeah, a bit of both.
Sure, and it's also interactive as well. There's things that, because I think that's really important. It's very, I like the illustrations as well, Emily, because it's accessible, you know what I mean? It sort of, it makes sense. It does, and you can actually do things while you're reading it. It's not just you're being read to or reading. You actually have to think a bit more. Yeah,
so I wrote it with a psychologist, a child psychologist, Dr. Ellie Wells, and so we've kind of developed some strategies that kids can use, like you say, kind of things they can practice. Yeah. And they'll probably just pick bits out that suit them, depending on what the sort of difficulty is they might be having at that moment.
Sure.
So we tried to make it quite broad and like different things that kids can try and find what works for them. It's quite fun. Tried to make it kind of fun and interactive.
Well, there's things that, you know, on the back, it's got things, what is anxiety? Which is fine, but then you say, well, how can you manage it? You know, it's fine identifying a problem if there is a problem, to identify it, but it's as you know, it's getting the help as well, which is hard, because we can identify a problem, which is great, but then, as we know, the waiting lists are horrific, aren't they? That's another thing that needs to be tackled, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's about kind of kids understanding that we all feel these emotions all the time, and part of that is normal. You know, we've all been anxious or worried.
Of course.
We've all felt a bit down at times, but it's if those emotions are kind of becoming very intense and really interrupting your life and your ability to do the things that you want, that's when maybe to start thinking a little bit more, do I need to, you know, try and find some ways to help me cope? And that's sort of where the book comes in, I think, is in that early stage, developing some of those strategies.
No, definitely, you're right, because, you know, being anxious, I always say this, it's OK if you've got an exam, of course you're going to be anxious. You are going to be anxious, or if you're going through a tough time, or all of these things. You know, everybody goes through strange times in their lives and difficult times. Yeah. But as you say, it's when it tips over and it becomes the first thing you think about when you wake up and the last thing at night, and it's with you all day. Yeah. Yeah.
And for kids as well, especially going through puberty, isn't it? Their emotions can be so up and down anyway. Yeah. And it's partly about normalising that, but then also saying, well, you know, if things are getting tough, here are some things that you can try. So I've done some of the exercises as well. They're actually
well, there's a breathing one. There's a breathing one, and you use your fingers, don't you?
I love that one. So I actually tried that one out. I tried a lot of them out on my daughter Millie, because she's 10. She's sort of around the right age for the book, and we tried some of them out together. And she said, "Oh, these are actually really good."
And just make you sort of calm.
Yeah, just feel a little bit calmer.
And it's an easy thing. Thing that you can do.
Yeah, most of them you can do anywhere. You know, you don't need equipment or things. You know, you can just do it if you were at school or on the bus or whatever. So.
And it's all that thing about breathing techniques that we hear, and actually it does work. You know, it's good. I have to say, you're looking fabulous.
Oh,
you're blooming.
Thank you.
You're blooming. When is your wee baby due? The third baby?
Not long. We're looking at sort of April time, but you know, I mean, I guess things can happen any time, isn't it? That's the funny thing.
I have to say, at your stage in the game, I was like an Easter egg. Look at you, it's all baby.
I think I'm just tall, Lorraine. That's
no,
what
but it's all baby here, because from the back, you don't even, oh gosh, you don't. So how has this pregnancy been? Has it been different from the other two, or is it?
It's been harder, I would say. I don't know if it's just because I'm a little bit older, or if it's just because I've got 2 other kids I'm running around
if you count Peter.
Oh yeah, true. It's definitely been a little bit more challenging, but I think that's kind of to be expected, isn't it? With the more pregnancies you have, I guess they get a bit more challenging. But I love it. It's such a precious time, and I can't believe it's nearly coming to an end. That's what's making me think, oh my goodness me, I need to really relish these last few weeks.
Are you sorted? Are you organised?
Mostly. Good. I'm going to optimistically say mostly.
Yeah, and the two older ones can help you as well. You know, that's the thing.
They're all going to muck in and help me. That's the plan.
Of course they will. And Peter's very good.
He is. Oh, he's so hands-on.
He's a real hands-on dad.
And he's making sure I don't carry anything, and he's helping me up the stairs and all of those things.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Well, Emily, good luck with the book. It's out now.
Yes.
It's out right now. Emily's book, it's called Healthy Mind, Happy You. Gosh, that's true, isn't it? Exactly. And it's out right now. Thank you so much. Great to see you, and good luck.
Thank you
Good
so
luck
much.
in April.